जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirare Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavadi Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. So we're reading from Canto 3, Chapter 11, entitled Calculation of Time from the Atom. We're discussing verse number 32 today. Antah sa tasmin shalila aste ananta asanaha harihi yoga nidra nimila akshaha stuyamanaha jana alayahe anta satasmin salila aste anantasano harihi yoga nidra nimilakshaha stuya mano janalayah anta sa tasmin salila Aste anantasano harihi yoga nidra nimilakshaha स्तूय मानो जनालय अंत स तस्मिन् सलिल आस्ते अनंतासनो हरिः योग निद्रा निमीलाक्षः स्तूय मानो जनालय निमीलाक्ष स्तूयमानो जनालय. Ladies. Anta sa tasmin salila Hansaya anantasano harihi yoga nidra nimilakshaha स्तूय मानो जनालय. अंत स तस्मिन् सलिल आसेनन्तासनो हरिः योग निद्रा निमीलाक्षः स्तूय मानो जनालय. Dāsa tasmin salila Astayantasano harihi yoga nidra nimilaksha yoga nidra nimilaksha stuya mano janalaya. Antah, within, sah, that, tasmin, in that, salile, water, aste, there is, ananta, ananta, asanaha, on the seat of, harihi, the Lord, yoga, mystic, nidra, sleep, nimilaksha, eyes closed, stuyamanaha, being glorified, jana alaya, by the inhabitants of the Janaloka planets. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, lies down in the water on the seat of Ananta with his eyes closed. And the inhabitants of the Janaloka planets offer their glorious prayers unto the Lord with folded hands. Purport: we should not understand the sleeping condition of the Lord to be the same as our sleep. Here the word Yoga Nidra is specifically mentioned, which indicates that the Lord's sleeping condition is also a manifestation of His internal potency. Whenever the word Yoga is used, it should be understood to refer to that which is transcendental. In the transcendental stage, all activities are always present, and they are glorified by the praise of great sages like Bhrigu. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shri He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dibandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Varamananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all the devotees assembled here and online so that I may be able to speak something meaningful. At least I do not confuse you. And at least if I do not confuse you, if you are already confused. The first time I heard that someone wearing a t-shirt, do not disturb, I'm already disturbed. I was thinking, do not confuse me, I'm already confused. But devotees are not confused, they are very clear. It's interesting, this is verse number 32. When I first chanted the verse, I said Shalila, and then I said something not right. Because everything, all the other letters are Sa. Bhāgavatam is so poetic. Then it says Salile, Aste, Andata, Sano, Harihi, Stuya, Mano, Tasmin, says Sa. There's something, right? Sure, should be Sa. It's just, it's so, such poetic things. So every letter has some purpose, why it's written in a particular way. So you antasa tasmin salila aste anantasano harihi yoga nidra nimilaksha stuya mano janalaya. So there are few personalities here and something's going on. So this is another beauty of Śrimad Bhāgavatam. Every verse has glorification of the Lord, glorification of the devotees, and devotees of glorification of the Lord by the devotees of the Lord. So what's happening here is, so this is Maitreya speaking, and he's now, see what's happening, where we are in this chapter. This is calculation of time from the atom, and details on how the time is calculated in the Vedic, science, if you like to say that. And then the section started here from verse number 22 was about the destruction at the end of the Kalpa. This is Vidura's question. Okay, you explain me how the time or how the resolution take place for the Pitras, for the Devatas, for the Manushya, the human. Now tell me more about the higher planetary system, because the destruction at the end of the Kalpa, which is the day of the Brahma, the material world is dissolved or is destructed or destroyed, or entered into Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, until this Swarga Lok. Above the Swarga Lok, Mahar Lok, Jana Lok, Tapa Lok, Satya Lok, they're all intact. And the inhabitants of Mahar Lok, it says, it's all in the verses before that, I'm not creating. So, first of all, it says that the Kalagni Rudra, which is the form of Lord Shiva, so he has so many Rudra's forms. So, Kalagni Rudra at the end of Brahma's day is responsible for the dissolution of the world. At that time, the Jivas get merged into the dissolution. Jivas who are still around. We've been around a few kalpas, few manvantaras, and many yugas. We are all here. But some devotees are obviously here to do something better. So Jivas merge into dissolution, and up to the Swargaloka, the whole material world disappears, and the sun and moon, glare is reduced, it has no more glow. At that time, residents of Maharloka, feeling the heat that's been generated by the Kalagni Rudra, they move up to the higher planet, Janaloka. Because Janaloka, the heat is not reached, it seems. But it's not that they're sitting there, okay, I'm cool here, it's burning there. The residents of Janaloka are all devotees of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada calls out Bhrigu Rishi, who seems to be a resident of Janaloka. And they are, whilst all these things are happening, they are glorifying the Lord. You can see the difference between devotees or the people in general. Now also we see the destruction taking place in the world. What's happening? March, protest, more burning. People are, rather than understanding this is the creation, this is the pastime of the Lord. The Lord is still the controller. He's still in control. It's not that things have gone out of control, His control. But people in general are creating more destruction where there's already so much destruction. This is the mindset of the Kali Yuga, or people who are not aligned, tuned in to the thoughts of the Lord. The Lord is in the Yoga Nidra. Yeah. We'll talk about the Yoga Nidra a little bit before that. And what's happening in this particular, this is an interesting scene actually. We can actually visualize this. A lot of verses we can't easily visualize. Although it will be using our senses, which are anyway defective, but it helps because Bhagavatam words, we can imagine what's going on. The world's destroyed in 3 planetary system, and the Lord is on his Ananta, lying down in his Yoga Nidra. The Lord always has a smiling face. He's not sad, he's not angry, he's not just, he has the constant smile. We see Radha Gokulananda, there's a constant smile. Sita Ram Lakshmana, you see there's a constant smile on their face. You can say they're always in the bliss. So then, the Nidra, we talk about the Nidra again, the Yoga Nidra, it says the Lord is in Yoga Nidra, which is mystic. Prabhupada defines yoga as mystic, sleep. So mystic is like, then Prabhupada also clarifies further that whenever the word yoga is used, it should be understood that refers to transcendental. Transcendental is beyond the senses. That's transcendental. So, and there is also the Ananta, which is, we say Ananta is constantly glorifying the Lord. So glorification is happening at all levels. Lord Ananta Shesh is glorifying the Lord with his 1,000 hoods and is not able to, say have enough of it. He's just glorifying more and more. And the Janaloka planets residents also glorifying. There's another pastime where Lord Varaha appears when the earth is now gone into what you say the lower planetary system, and Lord Varahadev appears to bring back, put in the right position. And then also you can see there are many probably other pastimes also where the residents of Janaloka are offering prayers. They're constantly offering prayers. So they understand that this is Lord's pastime. They understand that Lord is not sleeping. His sleeping is not like sleeping how we are sleeping. Our sleeping is in mode of ignorance. So there is this concept that Prabhupada explains in some verse in Bhāgavatam later on, and very popular amongst the impersonalists. This concept of Jagrut, Swapna and Susupti. In the fourth state, Prabhupada says Turiya. Turiya is transcendental. We'll speak a little about that, discuss Jagrat, Swapnas and Susupti. The Lord is in Yoga Nidra. What is Yoga Nidra? We will discuss that. So, in another purport, another Acharya, I think Vishwanath Thakur says, he defines the various Shakti of the Lord. So, Lord is, he's working with his potencies. His potencies are always there to serve him. For us, this is the difference between us and the Lord again. For us, we are being controlled, managed, paid back, however you want to call it, by the Mahamaya. Lord is being served by the Yogamaya and also the devotees. Mahatmanas tu mam bharta praktim devim praktim ashrita bhajante ananta manaso gyatva mam bhutadi avayam. So all the Mahatmas are also being with the Devi Prakriti or the Yogamaya. So the Lord's, I was just thinking about the Lord's potencies, the mercies that's coming in. Not mercies, potencies. So there are 16 potencies that I'm going to say. I don't know everything about everything, but maybe we can churn it a little bit. But it's interesting, I thought, how Lord is functioning, how all these potencies are serving the Lord. There's a Shakti, or also called Soda Shakti, 16 energies or potencies, or there's various things. So yoga that's mentioned here is also a potency of the Lord, one energy Shakti of the Lord. And yoga takes form of the Nidra to serve the Lord. And there are various pastimes of the, Nidra Devi serving the Lord. We will discuss those. But first, these 16 potencies. The first potency, I read there are, Baldev Vidyabhushan describing differently and Jiva Goswami they're different, but I'll just take this 16. So Shri is one of the Shakti or the potencies. Shri means opulence. Bhu Devi. There are temples if you go, like there is in South India, there's temple. Tirupati temple is Bhu Devi temple. There are other temples also in the South and West India, the Bhu Devi temples there. I think there's also one in Jagannath Puri. There's a small temple, Bhu Devi, Vimala Devi. Vimala is also a Shakti of the Lord. Shri is the opulence, then Bhu, earthly, activities going on. That's also, Bhu Devi is also, is also the consort of the Lord. Then there is Kirti, fame. So this fame, Kirti is fame, is serving the Lord. So all these, see how the Krishna is not making any endeavors. Prabhupada gives an example of, how to understand this. He gives an interesting example like, we also as souls have, energy. We also have some potency. And he gives an example of how the hair is growing, because there is consciousness in the body, it is rejuvenating, keeping the body alive and making the body function. And with that Shakti, even without putting in effort, the hair, is growing, from more places. And so we can just to understand how these things happening, even without our own desire, things are taking place. With that context, with that example, we can understand. Even the Lord does not have to call out, okay, let's do this. Okay, I need this to happen, I need that to happen. This is Yoga Nidra, because they are yoga, because they are the potency of the Lord. They know the heart of the Lord. And they know how to serve the Lord. Lord has desires, but the yoga, or all the Yoga Maya and the Shaktis, they work with the Lord's desires to automatically manifest, create situations with Him, with the devotees, to serve Him. So the fame also is like automatic. The Lord does not have to, okay, I need to become famous, I should become a celebrity, put myself in the YouTube, get some more likes, dislikes, doesn't have to put. Lord is, is most famous. Like that. So Ila is, I could find the creative, and even the Ila Shakti of the Lord. Any references? Then it says Leela. Leela is another important. Leela, pastimes are taking place automatically. Shakti. And Kanti. Kanti is the effulgence of the Lord. Lord is, with the Lord's effulgence, you can see the effulgence in the sun and the moon. And and then from the sun and moon you can see the effulgence we are seeing. Without sun we can't see. So eventually it is the Lord's effulgence that is enabling us or allowing us to see in the world, because coming by the sun. And then there is Vidya, there's Vimala. I'm going to just probably conscious of time. Utkarshini, I'll speak only the interesting ones. Utkarshini means Utkarsha means which is enhance, uplift. So all the Lord's pastimes, all the Lord's leelas, they get uplifted. Jnana, Kriya, Prahavi, Satya, Yoga. So Kriya and Yoga is also mentioned as a Shakti of the Lord. Then Prahavi, Satya, Ishan, Anugraha. I couldn't find a lot of information there, but just that. So this is there's a verse also, just remember, there's a Parasya Shakti. Vividheva Shruyate. Swabhaviki, Jnana, Bala, Kriya, Cha. So this is the verse that is, further actually enhancing, saying all these potencies. Lord has multifarious potencies. Swabhaviki, Jnana, Bala, Kriya, Cha. Swabhaviki, they are serving actively, they are just serving the Lord. Swabhavi, his own potencies are serving him. Jnana and Bala, Kriya, Cha. Jnana and Kriyas is another two famous. So we discuss the Jnana and Kriya Shaktis. Likewise, the Yoga is also a Shakti, and Yoga takes form of the Nidra to then serve the Lord in the blissful sleep. The Yoga takes the form of Yoga Shakti, or the Yoga potency takes the form of Nidra Devi. And there are multiple pastimes of thinking of Nidra Devi helping the Lord's pastimes. Anyone would like to say something? I got some.
In his class on philosophy, he says there's a pastime with Nidra Devi. She goes to Lord Vishnu and says, I'm doing my service nicely, but I can't affect your devotees. So Lord Vishnu says to her, I give you the blessing that when the devotees hear Bhāgavatam class, then you can affect them to make them to go to sleep.
Yeah, I was hearing that. This is, I think, you said you can affect them to sleep when the Bhāgavatam class is going on. The Lord is saying that.
He gives a blessing to Nidra Devi.
That's a blessing to Nidra Devi. Where should I go? Yeah, so I've heard that. And that's, again, the Nidra Devi comes to serve the devotees while hearing Bhāgavatam. I heard the other way around. I also heard the other version which says that Nidra Devi, to filter out who are sincere, not sincere. If you have this sincere desire to listen to Śrimad Bhāgavatam, then Nidra Devi, stays away. But if we don't have the sincere desire, then Nidra Devi helps us. Okay, probably you need a good sleep. Bhāgavatam is perfect for that purpose. I think it's good because at least it creates the mode of goodness for devotees who are not at the transcendental level. And then it calms down the mind. Perfect. Nobody is speaking, nothing. And it's so quiet. And now it's time to sleep. Nidra comes. So it distracted. Yeah, please, Prabhu. Yeah.
It's a pastime from Bhaktisiddhanta. There was a businessman. He couldn't sleep at night. He was completely he's completely agitated, and he was losing, his will to live, actually. And then he was taken to a Bhāgavatam class of Bhaktisiddhanta, and he slept all the way through. And Bhaktisiddhanta said, don't wake him. The medicine is working. He says, this is the most wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And so he became a devotee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is, sorry. So we're talking about, then there's also, before you said that, there's also pastime I heard from one Srila Prabhupada disciple, that those days, we are a little bit more, obviously, a lot more in comfortable situation today compared to the old days. So he was sharing that one time Srila Prabhupada was coming to the manners pastime, and there was so much to do. Then the walls to be painted, his bedroom to be, everything, his darshan room to be painted, everything needed to be sorted out, and there was a very short time. So devotees were working day and night to keep uplift the whole place. Srila Prabhupada's coming. And they were just working. But the temple, program has to go on. Śrimad Bhāgavatam has to happen at 7:30. So he was sharing that. What happened is the devotees were working all night, and they were then sitting in the Bhagavatam. One person, one devotee asked to speak. He starts to speak, and because they not had any sleep, and he starts, even chanting the words, he starts sleep. And now, within a short time, everyone in the hall was sleeping deep. Some time passed, and they wake up. Where are we? It's gone.
No, thank you, Prabhu. You already covered. That's why I wanted to ask, what if you have late night service and we also have a desire to hear Bhagavatam? So
I'll come to that. The question answer. Just 5 more minutes. What I was asking is, pastimes when Nidra Devi is being called by the Lord to serve Him, or Nidra Devi helping. That's the pastime I was asking, if anyone.
I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but the fight between Lord Shiva and Krishna, where he threw a yawning weapon.
Yes, yawning and then started to yawn. That's right, yes. That was a good pastime. I was thinking right from the beginning, when Lord Krishna appears in Mathura, and what happens, and he has to be taken to Gokul, and as Vasudeva carries Lord outside, the whole of all the guards are just fallen asleep completely. And they cannot wake up. And everything just open, the gates open. This is the Lord's potency working. No, He's not calling out, okay guys, please sort this out. This is all Lord's, Shakti is working constantly. Another pastime? Think of? Okay, I will say something. So I read. So one aspect was Lakshman also. I think they saw the darshan. Lakshman was serving Lord Shri Ram for 14 years. And he said that he did not blink for 14 years. So Lord Lakshman calls Nidra Devi, say, okay, here I am to serve my Lord Ram, and I don't want any disturbance. Sleep is a disturbance, because I need to be there. The Lord Lakshman was there to protect, Mother Sita and Lord Ram. So he did not sleep for 14 years. So until that time. That's one part. This proves again that the Lord is in control. He can call Nidra Devi to help the situation or to do the service. And there is also another interesting pastime within Krishna's Lila is the Gopas go to sleep for 1 year. There's Lord Brahma, is taking all the Gopas and kidnapping them, putting them in a cave somewhere, and they, with Lord's pastime, Krishna realizing what's happened here, and says, okay, this is helping Lord's pastime. Lord, this is the most intimate pastime. The Lord expands Himself into Gopas and the cows, and then we can, this is such beautiful life. The Krishna is now little Gopas. He Himself has expanded, and the mothers are feeling more ecstatic love. When the cows are, licking the calf, they can't have enough. They're experiencing more love. But this is again helping. The Nidra Devi has helped the Lord's pastime with his devotees. Yeah, and then in Mahaprabhu's Leela also there's a pastime like that. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, this is the Nima. There's a Brahman coming, and he's comes to the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, and then he's making offering. He's offering to his Lord. And then Nimai comes and eats. Every time makes an offering Muslim. Then the mothers, parents, and also brothers are quite disturbed. What is he doing? Every time the offering is made, he comes and then eats. So they lock him in the room. Yeah. And then what happens is Nimai calls in Nidra Devi, and everyone is now fast asleep. And he comes again. This time the Brahmana makes the offering again. Nimai takes the offering, and then the darshan happens. So there are many such pastimes I can remember. So this is where Nidra Devi is helping the Lord in the pastimes. And for us, it's different. We will talk about this. So now we'll go back to the question. Yes, the question was? Oh, I think he was asking if we are doing late night services, what happens? What should we do? What is the answer, Srinivas Prabhu? Please share your own. Anything I say would probably be artificial.
Personally, I would, if there's a service to be done late night, which is not regular, and it's you're preaching, you get Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And then you can always hear Bhagavatam later, because you can hear the class later.
Yeah.
That's how you have to balance things.
Yes. I've seen some devotees standing up also, some, young devotee, when they feel late night and they sit in the class, they feel asleep, they stand up. I've seen that. I was there before. So, yeah. Yeah. I think the answer is always, these types of answers are relative to individuals, I think. And also sleep is also, I was hearing one class that we should not judge people by, what's happening with the sleep, because you may have a pitta or a kapha body, like a kapha body needs more sleep. Yeah? But they can concentrate better, this devotee was saying. So don't judge a devotee because he's falling asleep in the Bhagavatam, okay, he's a lazy. No. But he can also concentrate. A vata body does not need a lot of sleep. But then his mind is always wavering around, so he can't concentrate, he can't hear. So this is also, we are all trying to do our best, but we are also affected by the type of body that we have, external situation, internal situation also. There is also the pastime of Mother Parvati, what to speak of us. This is I was thinking, Śrimad Bhāgavatam, how the birth of Shukadeva Swami. What happened? The pastime goes like Lord Shiva is narrating Śrimad Bhāgavatam to Bhāgavatam Mother Parvati. Now Shuka was the parrot, Srimati Radharani is parrot, as Radharani and Lord Krishna, goes to they never leave, but let's say they're, taken away their manifested pastimes. The parrot Shuka is a bit, disturbed, like where can I hear more about them? So he goes and sees that Lord Shiva is speaking Śrimad Bhāgavatam Mother Parvati. And as Lord Shiva starts to speak, gradually, she's saying, and then she falls asleep. So what to speak of us? But this is, again, as you said, the pastime, there's a blessing to Nidra Devi to affect the devotees. We can't understand these pastimes. Any other? Also, there is this, we were going to talk about Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. These are the three stages. So we said the Lord is in Turiya Avasthita. There's another verse where it says, which is transcendental to the consciousness that we have. So we have three states of consciousness, which is Jagrat, which is when we are awake, wakeful. When we are awake, we can see what we can see, the mountains, earth, we can see everything. When other consciousness state is called as swapna, which is dreaming state. So when we are sleeping, but we are not, the mind is still functional. When we are dreaming, that means the body is now resting. There is no movement of the body, but the mind is still functional. The mind is still getting the impressions, and you actually experience the reality at that level also. So then also actually it helps to understand that we are not this body. Because if the mind is able to create, with the impressions able to create the same experience, if we get to see the tiger chasing us or any other situation happening, or falling off the mountain, I've experienced a few times, and you can actually get up with, okay, what's happening? So you can have the same experience, the heart starts beating. You can see that the body does not need to give us the same experience. The mind can also give the same experience. That is swapna. And the deep sleep is in complete mode of ignorance. Actually, there are also 3 modes, isn't it? So the wakefulness is mode of goodness, and then the swapna is mode of passion, where the passionate people, we want to do this today, make a startup, start new business. They're always active to do something, or they create some, lots of dreams in their mind. Okay, if this happened, then I'm going to do that. And after 20 years, I will have this much, and I will do that much, and that much. And this, whatever they dream, eventually the material world is good enough to break all the dreams. So that happens. And then the deep sleep, which is in mode of ignorance. And then deep sleep, the mind has also stopped working, and the body is not working. And then what happens is the body actually is in bliss. So when we wake up with a deep sleep, we feel happy. We feel satisfied. In the swapna, we just have lots of dreams, we don't feel satisfied. A deep sleep, because it is said that in the deep sleep, because there is no sensory organs working, subtle or the gross, then we are experiencing that, but it's the mode of ignorance. It's just the opposite of samadhi that a yogi experiences. Srila Prabhupada says, actually there's a similar verse, Canto 7, 932, similar verse where Mahavishnu is lying down and exactly in the same situation, where Prabhupada gives more information on how yogis can also do this, half asleep state, where they can keep their eyes half closed. Krishna says in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, how they can keep the eyes half closed and like that. So, the various consciousness, state of consciousness as well. I think it's conscious of time. Any more questions, comments? Yes?
Haribol. Prabhu, there are 3 types of consciousness.
Yes.
Waking, dreaming,
deep
and
sleep.
Deep sleep, yeah.
Sushupti, yeah.
So in the deep sleep, it says there's 72,000 nerves in the body. And the only time they get a rest is when you go into deep sleep. And in that deep sleep, the super soul embraces the jiva.
Yeah.
So that's the only time he gets relief from all his anxiety and misery. And he's in a type of Brahman consciousness. Therefore, he's able to cope with existence.
Yes.
Because of that relief. Therefore, you find people who don't sleep properly, they have a nervous breakdown and they can't cope.
They can't think clearly. Yeah. Krishna says also like, sleep, balance your sleep and eating. Again, the same. For a yogi, it's very important to regulate sleep. Not too much and not too less. Too much means become so lazy, and too little, can't think clearly. Yes. So, but Srila Prabhupada, the devotees are different. Pure devotees are different. He had such a routine, like he could write, wake up at midnight and write.
Yeah, one disciple said to Prabhupada once, "Oh, you were sleeping, Prabhupada." Prabhupada said, "You fool, I don't sleep."
Ah, Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhu. When Srila Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita one should not sleep more than 6 hours, does that mean 6 hours at a stretch or 6 hours throughout the entire day?
I think it varies for different people. I don't know if this individual's experience, I would have thought. When you say 6 hours, to me, many times we sleep less, but then we sleep later on in the day and we feel still fresh.
Yeah.
So I think 6 hours in the day, if you can catch up, that really helps. To me, it has helped always. Yeah. So many times we late night programs, again get up in the morning, then get some sleep during the day, keeps us going. I think that's
So that's more than 6 hours then.
does it make more
Well, I
than...
mean, if you sleep,
See, again, I would say that if you see the body type matters a lot, Prabhu. You know, someone may need 7 to 8, someone with bigger body and whatever, kapha, prakriti, they may need sleep more, you know. It's difficult. But the devotees, as we practice, you know, sadhana for many, many years, the body type changes. It's not that we're going to carry the same body all our life. As we practice more sadhana and then, you know, the eating, we regulate our eating, don't eat after 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, then we don't get. At the same time, you have enough, you know, food in the stomach to also be able to sleep. These things can be balanced. In my experience, it can be balanced. Like, we have to understand our body, you know, our level of sometimes, not the devotee, but I've seen people outside, their level of consciousness, awareness is so low that they don't know what they're doing. Like people in Mumbai, in the city, I've seen, they eat at 2 a.m. in the morning. Ya anisha sarvabhutanam tatsham jagrati dhamyami. Ya sham jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyate munehe. So what is the night for a materialist is a day. I mean, in that context, also, Srila Prabhupada explains that, is also in terms of the self-realization. When we talk about Krishna, self-realization, spiritual life, materialists will fall asleep. That's a night for them, fall asleep straight away, not interested at all. And devotees get awakened, talk about Krishna, talk about spiritual life, awakened, activated. So, yeah, that's that.
thank you.
Hare Krishna. You said about the 4th stage.
Turiya.
Can you speak about that one?
Turiya stage, this is what Lord is in, and also the great devotees, which is beyond the levels of material level of consciousness. So all the 3 stages are eventually, even if the deep sleep, Adi Guru Prabhu explained that, you know, we get some experience of bliss because we are with Brahman at that stage. But that is still in the material realm because it's still in ignorance. Sleep is ignorance. We are forced to sleep. You know, it's not that we opt to sleep. If we have that ability to do that, then we are different. The yogis can go in that Turiya state. And Lord is always in the Turiya state, which is beyond the so-called sleep that people are experiencing. The samadhi that, you know, with the dhyana avasthita tadgatena manasa, the yogis are experiencing because they are in dhyana state. The mind and senses fully controlled. That's the yogis. But the devotees also like that. They're fully in the mood of serving the Lord. They're always actively serving the Lord. So they are not affected by these 3 levels of consciousness. So Turiya is beyond the bodily consciousness, spiritual consciousness. It was interesting, Maharaj was speaking about on Sunday, Keshav Maharaj was speaking about the cultural bhakti, informative bhakti and spiritual bhakti. And this is the spiritual bhakti, Turiya, beyond the bodily concepts. You can do more, sir. I think there's a lot. Srila Prabhupada doesn't, this impersonalists talk a lot about these things. And I was starting to read something, I said, this is a lot. They explain like 16, 15 different Jagrat, Swapna. You can be awake, but you're sleeping. You can be sleeping, but you're still awake. That's complex. It's a good, interesting topic to research. You can have this conscious of time. Mataji. Ignorance. So what is Swapna? Swapna is like dreaming state. We are creating some, let's say, castles in the air. So we may be daydreaming also. So that in that context of 3 modes of material nature, the Rajasic people or the people in mode of passion are daydreaming. They're creating this and that, and they're creating all this wonderful material world, or their buildings and, you know, so-called rockets and spaceships and everything. But they know that they don't realize that at some stage they're going to go anyway. How many years can anyone live? So whatever they're accumulating is going to go. They don't know where it's going to go. So this is the state that the Rajasi people in the mode of passion, daydreaming. So they're like swapna. So night dreaming is also, I'm confused. Yeah, night dreaming is state of, again, the mind goes to sleep. Yeah, that's not really mode of passion that way, because the moment we go into the sleep situation, the ignorance starts there. And then you are in, when you're not fully asleep, the ignorance starts, and deep sleep, the mind is still functioning. Passion means the mind is very active. That's how he says that Swapna state, the mind is active. In Rajasic means the mind is super active. Do this, do that, going on. But it's slightly different context. So this is when we are awake. We could be in the Swapna state also. So we are awake, but we are daydreaming. Krishna Mataji.
From the Shad Goswami Astakam, there's one verse that goes, Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Nitibi Kalavasan Krito Nidrahara Vihara Kadivijito Jaktanto Dinochayo. That I don't remember exactly the translation, but I think it goes that because the 6 Goswamis, they were always engaged in chanting a fixed number of rounds and performing their sadhana, so they were able to give up their eating and sleeping.
Yes, thank you. Everybody is able to. Sankhya Purvak, they're also chanting like this. What was amazing in that context, like they are still counting. It's not, I'm chanting 24 hours anyway, but still counting Sankhya Purvak. And they're able to control the sleep.
I just wanted to give a small comment. You can correct me probably if I'm wrong. About that we were speaking about sleeping on Bhāgavatam. I thought that actually we're investing in our being awake on a Bhāgavatam class day before Bhāgavatam class. So if we are eating before going to sleep, if we are staring at our gadgets before going to sleep, then we are showing the Lord our priorities.
Yeah. Right.
But in the same way, actually going to sleep at a good time that I know I need 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, it's already devotional service, because I'm showing the Lord that here's my priority. I want to be awake during Bhagavatam class. I want to be awake during my chanting of my japa. And in this way, that's already offering to the Lord. And sometimes we're separating direct service and indirect service. We kind of think, okay, chanting japa, chanting kirtan, Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. So Arupa Siddha Bhakti is a secondary, but actually that's something that supports the main processes of bhakti.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. Prioritizing, the devotional service, conscious that what's happening to us. Also, like when chanting, it affects a lot of what we've done in the previous day, what activities we've done, what is our consciousness, affects our chanting in the morning. Even before, we get there, Bhagavatam starts right from the time we wake up. And in my experience, at least, if you sleep by 9:30, the quality of sleep between 9 and 12 midnight is the best. Those 3 hours of sleep is very practical. If you sleep that time, that 3 hours, said that Ayurveda, I don't know whether it's in Charak Samhita or not, but that 3 hours is as good as 6 hours between 9 and 12. So, and then you go to rest. I've seen many people just going early in the bed. So easy to wake up in the morning. It doesn't. If we eat right, I think it's not that. Prabhupada doesn't speak about yukta ahar viharasya yukta karmasya cheshtashu. Just, follow the regulated eating, sleeping. It's not very difficult to manage this to me. Yes, we have exception scenarios, late night programs and all that, My body can't take it, maybe someone can take it. And this is different. That would depend varies to individual. But on a regular day, we can very easily manage with our routine that we can follow. I think you're going to be late for breakfast. Thank you so much for tolerating me today. Grantharaj Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.